Hi, everyone. Thank you so much once again for joining our June Living Letter series. This is our mentorship series for Zaza Development Initiative. My name is Zugwai Tagwai, and I am super excited to host you today for our session. Zaza Development Initiative, for those of us who are just joining for the first time or haven't been here before, is a non-for-profit organization that works around youth development, mentorship, community engagement and service, as well as good governance and active citizenship. And our Living Letters series is our monthly engagement with young people across Africa, where we bring together amazing young Africans who are doing excellent work across different sectors. And we give this platform to them to just share their experiences, their learnings, their challenges, and also important and relevant resources with us as young Africans that would help us to be able to build better, to be able to grow better, and to also avoid those hiccups and challenges that they had to go through. We believe in representation, and we believe that there is no space we want to go into as young people that other young people have not been to and are not thriving in. And it's easier for us as young people, as young Africans, to be able to relate with what a young person that looks like us and is from where we come from, and say, yes, I think that this is relatable and I can do what this person is doing if this person has done it. So that is why we do what we're doing. And today I am super excited to have our mentor and our speaker and guest with us today, all the way from Cameroon. We're excited to have our mentor. And just before we introduce her, I just want to remind us that leadership is not just about holding positions, it is about choosing the courage, the compassion, and service, especially when circumstances are difficult. We are very privileged to learn from someone whose work demonstrates what it means to create hope where we see conflict and to continue to stay consistent even as young people. So, while we deep dive into this conversation, I want you to just think around what leadership quality do you think Africa needs more of today? Wherever you are, whoever you are, whatever sector you work in, what leadership quality do you think we need as Africans today? Is it courage? Is it empathy? Is it integrity? Is it collaboration, resilience? Something I haven't mentioned? Feel free to engage in the comment section. Write your name, introduce yourself, and let us know where you're joining in from. Take notes, we will be receiving questions at the end of the session. So please take note of your questions and ask once we're done. So, without so much delay, I will be introducing our mentor for today's session and I'll be reading her bio for us. For as many of us who have been following the post and the publicity, we may have seen this, but we like to honor our speakers and our mentors, which is one of the things that we're trying to do here also to show us the capacity that these people have. So, Emily Efeti Miki is a woman peace builder and mediator. She is a dedicated peace activist and community leader working to foster reconciliation and sustainable peace in Cameroon, particularly in conflict affected regions like the Anglophone Northwest and Southwest and the northern regions of Cameroon. She is actively involved in multiple peace building and mediation initiatives, leveraging grassroots engagement, women's empowerment, and youth mobilization to bridge divides and promote nonviolent conflict resolution. With a deep commitment to grassroots peace building. She engages in dialogue facilitation, women's empowerment, and youth collaborating with local and international organizations, religious leaders, civil society, diplomatic missions, regional and international agencies to address the root causes of violence, including political marginalization and socioeconomic disparities. She advocates for inclusive peace processes that amplifies the voices of women, youth, and marginalized groups, recognizing their critical role in long-term stability. Her efforts have contributed to trauma healing, community mediation, and advocacy for human rights. Amidst Cameroon's ongoing crisis, some key contributions of Emily is as the founder CEO. She's a key figure in advancing Dennis Mickey Peace Foundation, a community-based peace building, trauma healing, and conflict mediation program. She is also a part of the Cameroon Women and Girls for Peace movement, where she advocates for inclusion of women and girls in peace processes, empowering them as change agents. Under the Youth for Peace movement, Cameroon, she engages young people in dialogue, leadership training, and violence prevention. With FemWise Africa, which is the network of African women in conflict prevention and mediation, she also carries on a lot of work around the framework of AU and mechanisms that support engagement on peace, security, governance, preventive diplomacy, mediation, and dialogue. Emily has worked across United Nations, diplomatic missions, has been a part of the Rotary IEP Positive Peace Activators, part of the major national dialogue, and also Southwest Northwest Women's Task Force. Her work focuses on mediation, human rights advocacy, psychosocial support for conflict affected communities, and so much more. Please, with a round of applause and a very warm welcome, help me usher our mentor, Emily. Thank you so much once again. That is such a packed bio. I'm so sorry. I had to shorten a lot of the contributions, but it's a lot. And thank you for coming.
Thank you so
Um,
much, Zigra, and thank you for having me. Can you hear me?
yes, clearly we can hear you.
Okay, good. Hi, everyone.
Yes.
Good evening from Boya, Cameroon. I'm currently in Boya, the legendary hospitality town of Cameroon. I'm actually based in Limbe, but I'm here for some workshop training with the United Nations Family UNFPA, and I've been here for a few days. And it's good to take off time from the session just to do this
Mhm.
and share my experiences and contribute to the support of African youth. It's been a pleasure to be here, most especially getting the invitation from Zigwa. Zigwa and I met in Nigeria during the Rotary IEP Positive Peace Activators training, and it's good to collaborate once more and share my experiences and serve as a mentor. I'm hoping that me sharing my experiences today will help one or two or even everyone on the session today joining this live mentorship series in finding or maybe refocusing the work they're doing, finding purpose. You will also be able to help in shaping your journey career wise, personally, as well as professionally. Because I always say that the work I do, though I'm passionate about it, also is closely linked with personal experiences. It's also linked a lot with my life experiences, and it's a driving force. So it's a pleasure to be here, and I look forward to an interactive session. I hope that we will achieve academic goals. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Emily, for that amazing introduction. We're so excited to have you on board. And for as many who are listening in and joining in, you can see the depth of work and exposure that our guest has. And we're thankful that you're willing to take time out of your training to join us. So we will just go straight into our conversation. And to the first question that we have for our mentor, Emily, many young people, I know I speak for myself and so many others. We dream of building successful careers, but from your background and what we have read through, your journey has taken you into some very complex and demanding environments. I know that not a lot of young people deep dive into conflict, into peace resolutions, and everything that has to do with the work that you're doing. Just out of curiosity, what inspired you to commit yourself to peace building? How did you get to discover that this was what you wanted to get involved in? Was there like a light bulb moment for you that changed your perception? Was there something you had dreamed of doing? For a lot of young people, I'm sure that at some point you were asked, "What do you want to be in future?" Was has it always been a peace builder or someone who is involved in conflict resolution? So please, could you share with us how you got to this space? What inspired you? How did you discover your purpose? Was there a light bulb moment for you that changed your perception on what you needed to do?
Okay, thank you. I think that question is very deep because, sometimes most of the work we do usually happens because of life ball experiences. But to be honest, all of my work has been life experiences. It's been shaped by the experiences I've had. Before I became a peace builder, I always did community service. I did a lot of work supporting orphans, vulnerable young girls, widows in local communities in Cameroon, and that was because of my life experience. And that is since because my father died when I was quite young. I was about 14 years old, 13, 14. I think I just turned 14 when he passed on that year. And my organization, which is named Dennis Mickey Foundation, is actually named in his memorial. I had a lot of difficulties growing up, and that is how I started the organization a few years, not actually a few years, as I rounded up my studies. But the thing with the conflict or the peace and conflict resolution mandate and the work I do around them, it came because of conflict, because of crisis. I'm an Anglophone Cameroonian. I was born in Limbe, I live in Limbe, and there was the Anglophone crisis that started in 2016. And since then, I think not just me, a lot of other Cameroonians who have faced conflicts and others in different communities as well. I think even in Nigeria and other African countries, we've taken a part of life or a part of work based on the realities that face us. The fact that the Anglophone crisis erupted made it very difficult and became a reality that I did not expect. If someone had said in a lifetime that this is going to be the path that I would choose, I would say no. It's true that I still do a lot of what I studied, which is health related, nursing. A lot of my work is also health focused, and it's also I do that a lot in the conflict setting. But doing peace building as a woman peace builder, as a young woman peace builder, has mostly been with the result of the Anglophone crisis, the negative impact it came with, the setbacks that we saw in communities, and finding initiatives or solutions to these problems or challenges in the communities during humanitarian activities was all because there was conflict. Which is why in most of the work I do, advocacy, policy influencing, we preach and push for peaceful resolution of conflicts, community dialogue sessions, mediation initiatives that will serve as a basis for solving conflicts or finding a way around differences that people have, because it's true that we'll never live without differences. But then, rather than fighting and killing each other, let us sit on tables and have conversations, deep conversations about the issues that are troubling us. Most of it is usually around resource sharing. How are we bringing everybody to the table, creating spaces for people such that these people don't feel left out? Because the Anglophone crisis in Cameroon has varying factors or influencing factors that made it to be what it is today. We are still in the crisis, we're still facing the conflict. But the truth is, if we do not use mediative, preventive mediation, if we don't use advocacy, if we do not use community dialogue sessions where people can talk and heal, then it becomes a challenge. So I really got into this space not because I wanted to. It's not a course I studied before I said, okay, I've learned this, that. But because of the conflict, I was able to find myself doing initiatives, humanitarian activities, humanitarian programs, peace building initiatives. And then I started learning as well because, one thing with community service and community work is there are a lot of capacitation programs, capacity building programs, trainings and workshops that are provided by partners like UN, different UN agencies. I do a lot of work with UN Human Rights. I do a lot of work with UNFPA, UN Women, and all that. So all of these trainings build my capacity to be able to take initiatives locally, to support women locally, to work with women and young people in local communities in Cameroon, as well as now in other African communities, because the work I do as well with the current mandate and the work with the African Union, it supports the effort in local communities across Africa. So initially, my path was not this, but then based on life's experiences, what is happening, then I started having to realize that the main thing that is driving me is the impact. Because one thing is, we may always say when you want to qualify or evaluate or calculate what impact you have created, qualitative data is, or qualitative impact is not really measurable, but you can still feel it. The conflict would have been maybe worse if efforts that we bring in were not done, if we did not do advocacy, if we did not do awareness creation, if we did not do educative sessions, educating community members on the need to live peacefully and avoid all, forget and forgive, reduce grievances and all of that. If we had preached the message of justice and revenge and forgotten about the fact that we can coexist and live together despite our differences, maybe we will have worse case scenarios. We will have worse impact. But the fact that the activities that I do with my colleagues, collaborators, team members, partners, and stakeholders is pushing for mediation, peaceful resolution of the conflict, pushing for more resources to be available in communities that are feeling marginalized, pushing for resolutions or implementation of resolutions and existing laws and even new laws to support communities in Cameroon, then we see that there's a bit of change and the impact is quite promising. It's fulfilling. It's possible for me to sleep and also sleep freely, especially in the town where I live, and not fear that there may be a gunshot. And also praying that this may be the case for other communities that are still red zones is something that keeps me going. So I would say that is what pushed me in this path. Initially, I wasn't. If you had asked me when I was younger or when I was growing up that what do I want to be in future, I would not have said a peace builder. I would not have said um, development actor. I would not have said philanthropist and all of that. But life brought these situations to me. We are usually told that when life brings you lemons, make lemonade. So I used this opportunities to become like a stepping stone, or these situations to become stepping stones by finding solutions to these problems. So my advice when I respond to this to everyone watching, especially the young Africans watching me, is when you find yourself in hard or difficult situations, don't just stay there and sulk or get angry, cry. True, cry, but when you finish, wipe your eyes and start thinking, oh, this thing was this hurtful to me, then would what will happen to others? Because if you're facing something, know that at least five others are facing that same challenge. Now, if you are facing it and it's a painful thing, it's a discomforting thing, it's a distress, what more of the others who are maybe more vulnerable than you? Then you start thinking, okay, what can I do to contribute as a solution to this issue? Once you start finding solutions to those issues that you have faced or that community members are facing, that is you taking initiatives to create change. That is you starting initiatives that can support community. That is you building initiatives, innovations that can bring peace, that can bring support, that can bring empowerment. So if you are facing any challenge right now in your life, in your community, if there is trash somewhere, right, and say, oh, there's trash, find solutions, think out of the box, think of initiatives that will help solve that problem. If you cannot do it alone, talk to a few friends, talk to your neighbors, build community, mobilize community, and take initiatives that will solve problems. Once you're doing that, that is you doing development work, that is you doing community service, that is you impacting your community. It could be around peace building, it could be around health care, it could be on just capacity building for youth and women, entrepreneurship, livelihood support, whatever it is. Find a solution to the problems that exist. You may not find solutions to every problem, but find at least one that you can support. Or if you cannot start or lead one yourself, find an institution that exists. There are several NGOs, associations, civil society organizations, church groups, even companies, private sectors, government initiatives that are are doing these things. Support them as a volunteer, as a team member. Join their team, give your time and service, and that is you taking and leading change and contributing to community advancement and national development. Thank you.
Thank you so much for that very elaborate response, Emily. I think you've taken us through a whole journey. I like the fact that you emphasize the fact that we should not sit and sulk. I think a lot of times is the place where we like to practice self pity, and we like to keep the attention on ourselves, and we forget that if you can go through certain situations, it means that any other person can. It may not be in your direct space, but there are other persons who are going through similar or who will go through similar. And what's most important is being able to think beyond yourself, being able to now build solutions and build um, initiatives that will address this, either to prevent other people from going through it or to help other people to be able to navigate through it properly. Thank you so much for that. We're also glad to know that the dream of before kind of metamorphosized into what we have today. I can imagine if you were something else, who would be taking this role today. Thank you so much. So please don't stay stuck where you are. You don't have to be what you said you were going to be when you were still younger if the dream changes. Allow the environment to kind of lead you, allow the experiences lead you. Not every horrible experience is bad. Some of these experiences are there to actually open our eyes to where we need to be. So thank you so much, Emily, for that. I would just following up on your response. I know you've spoken a lot about the experience you've had, the journey, and how we need to also stand up to creating solutions. I don't want to assume that this has been an easy journey for you or is as smooth as we're reading it in your bio. So, how do you remain motivated when progress feels slow? Because as much as you're talking about the wins, the efforts, and how we should either collaborate or bring a company or an organization that does it, I don't believe that it's always that smooth. So how do you remain motivated when progress feels slow? And what advice would you give young people who want to create careers that benefits them personally but also impacts the community or society they belong to?
Okay. I think that is a very important question because life is not all roses. It's not a bed of roses, and my life has not been easy. To be honest, it's not been easy. Even till now, it's not a very easy process. Even with the work I do, I still have to deal with several other challenges, and it's not quite easy. It's not an easy task. But one thing that keeps me going, I think there are three or four quotes that I live on, is tough people do never die. That difficult things, if it doesn't kill you, it only makes you stronger. So the fact that it doesn't kill me, if I get up the next morning or if there's a challenge and then I'm still breathing, it means I can be able to go through. I just need to maybe take a break and let it. Sometimes you may even take a break and it doesn't still solve itself out. I'll tell myself that I can wait this out. Waiting out this out doesn't mean you should stay idle or just stay crying and sulking. During the process of waiting, you could actually be building skills. If, for instance, you're targeting something and I know that I applied for the first interest for these things for a while, which means it's not that I applied for the first interest for these things for a while, which means I've been targeting them. What I usually do is, if for instance, if I'm targeting something and I know I'm not ready yet, I've had this experience in many things, many scholarships, many opportunities, many programs. I see a program and then I read through it and I'm like, oh, I'm not fit for this. It's going to be competitive. A lot of the programs I've benefited from are competitive programs where you have to find at least 5 or 10 people out of the whole world with millions applying. How do I make myself stand out? Then I do a roadmap, I do a plan and say, okay, I know I cannot get this thing now. Okay, I even applied and I not get it because of this, and that. Now, how do I build my capacity to be able to get there? What do I need to do? What things do I need to do? Is it activities? Do I plan activities? Do I build my capacity by taking courses? Do I learn more about this area of work I want to be part of? So there is that needs to be done while you're waiting. Another key thing is healthcare. A big challenge is around health. Sorry, excuse me. A lot of us young people do not focus on our health. I am saying this because I know that I have a lot of different health challenges there and there. But then managing ourselves, taking care of ourselves, making sure we have good self care programs, making sure we do regular checkups is very important because we cannot carry the swells pain, we cannot carry all of that with our own pain without making sure that we're healthy, we can deliver, we avoid breakdowns. Another thing is resources. One of the most difficult thing is the resources to implement the work that you're passionate about or even to the things you want to do. I face it even to tomorrow. Building strong fundraising strategies, building strong financial plans. How will you make money? What works? What networks? What platforms will be able to support your initiatives? There are so many, but be careful also for the ones that are scams. They are legit ones. Some are paid for membership platforms, networks globally that if you become a member, you have access to opportunities and stuff like that. So having a plan, a clear plan on what you need to achieve, find this kind of networks, find this kind of platforms, this kind of opportunities. Now, another key thing is that what doesn't kill you, like I said, makes you stronger. In every challenge, don't just look at the challenge. Find the purpose in that challenge. Because I live a purpose driven life. A purpose driven life, why? Because everything that happens to me is usually very challenging. But I don't end in that. I sit and I meditate, I think, and I ask myself, why is this happening? What is God trying to tell me to get as a solution out of this? What is the way forward? What is He bringing as a lesson? From that lesson, either I'm starting a new program, I'm starting a new initiative, I'm starting a new business, I'm starting a new project. Those are how it happens. So don't look at the problems, look at the solutions or the way out. Look at what could be used, what could be made as a rose out of a thorn or a difficult process, what you could turn around, how you can turn around situations. So it's what motivates me. Another key thing that motivates me is that the work I do impacts people, it supports people. The fact that I feel like I have a purpose, I am contributing to someone's life, I am bringing a solution to someone's problems, gives me going, it motivates me. It makes me smile even when it's difficult. I would say that I have traveled to so many countries. A lot of people are leaving and saying, oh, I just want to fall bush, I want to travel to America or Canada and all of that. I've gone to a lot of countries, but I keep coming back to Cameroon. And when people ask me, why do you always go and you don't run, or why do you go and come back and stuff like that, I keep saying I have a purpose. When I stay in some of these places, I feel like, oh, I'm needed back home. There's something I need to be doing. Maybe if I did this project, it would have helped this woman and saved her life. Maybe if I did this child would have had scholarship. Maybe if I did this advocacy campaign, the government would have started a new program that supports maybe this number of people and all of that. So there's always that call, that need to come back home, to come back and give, to support. And that's one thing that keeps me going. Even when I know that it's difficult, I'm like, oh God, it's not going to last. I will get through this. There is a reason why it's happening. And when the good thing with this is that when you successfully go across, you see the purpose, you see God's purpose in it, God's grace, God's reasons in it, and then you're like, oh, that's why you were getting me ready for this. I was getting ready for this stage of my life. This is why I needed to go through this process. This is why I needed to get in this place where it felt so difficult and I felt like everything was not going to make it, or it wasn't going to work out. Also, another cool thing that helps is asking for help. We need to ask for help when we need help. Don't be afraid to ask for help. Help must not be financial. Help must not be material. Sometimes help is as simple as meeting someone and say, please, I'm applying for this. Can you help review my application? Oh, please, I'm applying for this. I need a recommendation. Can you help sign me a recommendation letter? Please help me share this. Oh, do you know this person in this place? Can you put in a good word for me? Those are the kind of helps that you can also get, which will help you get to the right places, get to the right network, get to meet the right people. So don't be shy to ask for help. Reach out, ask people for help. Don't die in silence, don't die alone. And build strong relationships. Be loyal to people that are good to you. Build good integrity. Be someone that they can count on. Keep your word. When you cannot deliver, say you cannot deliver, and then don't say you can deliver and don't show. Yeah. Thank you.
Thank you so much. Don't be shy to ask for help. Keep your word. There is nothing as important as integrity. I think beyond delivering excellence, what people value the most is being able to say, I can count on this person. This person is dependable. And dependability is beyond just the person always showing up. It's also the person being able to say, oh, I honestly cannot show up at this point, so that you do not put your hope in someone and then there is a gap that cannot be filled at the end of the day and you're running helter skelter. We hear you clearly when you say our health is very important. I know sometimes we feel like it's about how much work you put into, how much sleep you are not getting. If you're sleeping, you are lazy. If you're checking your health, you're doing too much. But if you're not healthy, you cannot achieve whatever purpose it is that you think that you've been called to drive. So thank you so much for that, Emily. We appreciate your contributions to that response also, and we're taking notes. Just a quick reflection question for those of us who are listening in. You could also just write it down in your notepads for as something you can always just reflect on or even work on as an individual. Just take a moment and think, what problem in your community are you passionate enough to solve? What is that thing that affects you, that affects someone you know, that has made you so uncomfortable that you cannot stop talking about or thinking about? What's that thing that worries you so much, that irks you so much? In the course of my journey, I know that I've heard over time that the thing that you are most uncomfortable about is the thing that you are called to change or to address. So when you go into a space or a room or an association, a group of people, and you always do not like certain things going certain ways, that's your call to engage and address that challenge. So I think that's something we also should just think around as we carry on with this conversation. Going into our next question, we will be talking about leadership. I know that your work requires bringing people together. And while you were talking with us, you mentioned the importance of bringing people around the table and just creating space for everyone. So, in the course of your work, whether in your workplace, in community, or within groups of people you've worked with, what are some leadership lessons you have learned about building trust, managing differences, and also bringing people together? Because I know that your work has to do a lot with building trust, managing differences amongst people, and even yourself, and bringing different kinds of people together. So, what are those leadership lessons you think we can learn from your experience? Yes.
Okay, I think this is a very key thing, especially dealing with people. People are not all the same. You will find people that will make your heart jump and you feel happy and feel secured. And then you find people that will betray you, and then you'll be like, oh, who sent me? Why did I even connect with this person in the first place? I've had those kind of experiences. I've had the good, the bad, the ugly. And one thing I learned in this journey is take people for who they are. Try to read people. When you know who someone is, find a way to deal with the person. You can still smile with someone, but you have a distant relationship from them. You can smile with people, but you know who they are, you know what their good and bad are, their bias characters. Work with their strengths, identify their strengths, and tap into that. If their strength is going to help you do something, use that. And once you know their weaknesses, avoid it such that you don't find situations to have conflict. Because one thing is you can know that this person has this weakness, and then you keep hoping that the person will change, and the person does not change. You keep hurting yourself. Don't hurt yourself. Once you know someone's weakness, don't rely on the weakness, rely on their strength. Everyone has a strength, everyone has a weakness. I have my strengths, I have my weaknesses. When you know your friend's strengths, your collaborator's strengths, your colleagues, your family members, rely and use that strength. Where you can support them in their weaknesses, do that. Where you can talk to them politely, quietly about it, do it. It's very important even with team members, especially in our institutions, organizations, groups that we manage, networks that we belong to. People have their strengths, work on their strengths. If someone's strength is writing projects, use that to write as many projects and get funding for your projects, for your activities. If someone's strength is communication, use that. If someone's strength is mobilizing communities, use that. If you know that their strength, their weakness is maybe coming late, don't do a program and put them at the beginning of the program. Put them when you know that they'll arrive and they'll come in and fully engage, so that you don't fight and start saying, "Oh, why were you late? You were supposed to be at 7 a.m. or you came at 12." You already know that person will show up late, so put their program around 1 o'clock, 2 o'clock, because they'll come and they'll be on time for themselves and for you, because you don't need them at that 7 a.m. So find people's strengths, work on their strengths, and try to avoid their weaknesses so that you don't have conflict. To be honest, in this space, we have seen things to me in particular. They have done things to me that if I have to be angry, I'll have grudges with so many people, but I don't live me that kind of life. I live a very happy life. I don't want people's baggage to be on me. I already have my own baggage, so I cannot be carrying people's problems and their stress on my neck as if I ask myself, no, I beg, life is too short for those of us who know that life is short. We want to live it to the fullest. So once I know who you are, I deal with where you can come in and support me. I focus on that, and that's why I think sometimes people usually wonder, like, I'm friends with a lot of people. I deal with people very well, and they cannot understand because maybe they have issues. But me, I don't focus on your issues, so I focus on your strength. If you're my friend and I know that you're good with cooking kwakoko, we'll focus on that kwakoko and be eating the kwakoko. If I know that you gossip or not tell my thing, because I will not want you to go and say it to somebody else, right? Yes, simple. But if I know that you're someone that will keep it, I'll tell you because I know that you will not go out. If I know that you're good with connecting me to people, I'll work on that. If I know that you're not good in this one, I avoid it so that we don't have issues, we don't fight. When you work on people's weaknesses, you have issues with them. You keep fighting. Don't rely on people's weaknesses. Rely on their strengths. What can the person deliver? What can the person bring to value, or what value do they add to your life? Find that area and focus on it. Avoid conflicts. Live happily with people. Life is too short. We see this daily. We see cases and all of that. You talk to someone today, the next minute they're gone. Be supportive as you can, but don't kill yourself. Don't strain yourself. Where you can support, you support. Where you can, you simply say, "Oh, I can't." Avoid situations that can bring conflict. There are a lot of people that will come into your organization and they will tell you that they want to help you, but when it comes to finances, they will not help you. The relationship and avoid any situation. Just avoid. If you know that you want to help, that you will not be expecting a return, help. But if you know that it's going to bring problems for you, or it's going to bring conflict for you, avoid it. Avoid conflict. If someone really, really gets you to a point where you need to talk to the person, avoid conflict. If someone really, really gets you to a point where you need to talk to the person in a very polite manner. Find solutions to problems. You don't need to go and broadcast it. If you have an issue, for instance, if I have an issue with using Igbo, I will not go to public spaces or go and tell B before telling you. I'll tell you first. I'll tell you that you did this, I didn't like it. This is not good. This is it. This is that. But not going and saying this to this person. Oh, she did that and that and that. You never hear it. Even when someone tells me that, I have enough friends that tell me that they keep telling me their things, but they don't hear it anyway. I'm like, ah. Gossip ends with me. Oh. That's my rule. Number one rule in life: gossip ends with me. If I have to tell it to the next person, you should be there, which means I'm telling all of us what you said, or I'll quote you. So I'm that kind of person. They know me for that one. I'm a very straightforward person. I'm a no shit person. I don't take rubbish. If you don't respect yourself, I don't respect you. If you respect yourself, I respect you. So let's learn to live people peacefully, respect people, respect wood, even if they are younger. Because sometimes someone may be younger than you, but they have value, they have positions, they have respect. Respect them for who they are. So I would say that is it for me, and I'm hoping that these lessons will help somebody, because life is so too sweet. Let's live life and enjoy. When you work, enjoy. When you are, I always say I live a workatainment life. I work and enjoy every time. Like, oh, I'm so busy, I don't have time. So when do I enjoy? I enjoy while I'm working. I create time for myself while I'm working, and build strategies that work for you. The reason I'm talking about strategies that work for you is because first, I'm a mother. I have a daughter. She's 11. She's 11 years old. But if you know the kind of things my daughter can do at 11 years, you'll be surprised. My daughter cooks. I've been out of the house a lot this week. I think since Tuesday or last week even, I've not been home. I go out every morning at 7 a.m. and come back around 10 p.m. And she cooks for herself and her friends who are home for holidays. Take care of themselves. I leave the house to them. They're fine because I've trained her. So let's find strategies that will build capacities and all of that. I've trained her such that even today they delivered a lot of packages for me. She was able to sign up on the person, the adult who was delivering was like, "A young child, are you signing off these things?" She said, and she even told me that she knows my signature. I'm like, "Hey, you know my signature?" She said, "Yes, I know you now." So building capacity and finding strategies that work is very important. And she said for me. So let's find strategies that work. To be honest, I'm bringing
Thank
this
you
in
so
particular,
much.
especially for us young leaders, especially when it comes to personal life. If we can find people that support us, then we are good to go. People that understand us, people that will take us for what we are. Let us just live life as best as we can in the workspace. Don't find reasons to query your colleagues or collaborators all the time. No. Speak to people politely. There is a way that you can correct someone that will instantly make the person trust you and tell you more than when you publicly shame them or insult them or ridicule them. So leadership is as simple as it is. There's a lot of information online now about leadership traits, best practices, values. Read about this, build these values. When you have good values, people will work with you. People will come to you. You'll be like a shining light. It will attract the right people towards you. Yeah.
Thank you so much for that. My goodness. I know that I was laughing all through, but the learnings. Please. I love that word. Work attainment. Work and enjoy life at the same time. Um
Very
build
important.
good
Very important.
values. Yes. There's nothing like I'm working, I'm too busy to enjoy. So work
To have fun.
attainment, I will take that down. Use strategies that use strategies that work for you. Yes, you don't have to do what everybody is doing, and there is no I don't there's no rule book to how you must do things. Use what works for you. Make sure that you can keep learning as you go. New ideas come up. You get to rediscover yourself every time. Don't over pressure yourself. Don't over pressure yourself. Like she said, I know that it may just be, oh, but really life is too short. Sometimes I say we punish ourselves unnecessarily by putting some standards that really nobody cares. At the end of the day, we're just too worried about what everybody thinks, and everybody is moving on with their own strategy. So yeah, speak to people politely. I think above all, in the work that we do, sometimes we're too focused on the goal, on delivering on impact, and we forget that people matter the most. Whether it's your team, it's the people we are working with, people matter. People matter the most. So we need to be able to speak to people politely. So we'll just go to our next question. But before we do that, we would like you to just think of one leadership skill that you're currently developing, whether intentionally or unintentionally. What is that one skill that you're currently developing? Please share with us in the chat. While we're doing that, um, we will just go to our next question. Emily, you've worked with a lot of grassroots communities. You've worked with people across different sectors, whether it's international organizations, civil society, women, youth group, marginalized communities. What are some opportunities that you see for young Africans who want to build their careers? You've emphasized a lot on capacity building. So, what opportunities do we have that we can jump on as young people to be able to build professional excellence and also create social impact? Thank you.
Okay, good. I think I always say that Google is our friend. Now we say AI. Before AI was just you go to Google or Safari and you type what you want and then answers come out. But AI now is helping. Even on WhatsApp, you can just write to Meta AI, or you have all the AI apps and you ask the questions, it comes up. Even Google, I still use it. There are opportunities, workshops, online free trainings, capacity building programs, free fellowships, free scholarships. There are even paid ones. There are even events happening in people's communities. They don't go to them. When you see an event in your community, go and attend. That's how you get to meet people. That's how you get to build your capacity. Trainings are very important. Self empowerment is key. And to build your capacity, you need to be willing. You have to have that willpower to say, I'm going to take out time to learn. I'm going to take out time to read. I'm going to take out time to meet people that can advise me. Find mentors. You can have as many mentors as you want to. So far as they're giving you good advice and showing you the path, hold on to them. They will support you. And when you find a mentor, be very supportive to your mentor. Encourage your mentor too by promoting the work they do. Don't just sit there and be only receiving. Most of us just receive from people. It must not be financial, it's just even support our assistants or connections. But we don't give. Make people feel happy. Support them. Hype them. I have my mentors a lot though. Me, I'm not joking with that one. Hey, I'm not joking with that one. Hype your mentors. Make people feel happy. When people are happy, they'll think good things about you as well. So please find mentors. Take courses online. Take trainings. Like this is a live program. I don't know how many people are joining and they have seen this. I've shared it personally on my spaces. People who should learn to watch things like this. We may be communicating every day, but on the platform like this, maybe the message I give out is different, or another leader that you have been following is different. Follow people that you wish to be like them on social media. A lot of them will post content. A lot of good people on social media that you can follow on Facebook, and their content alone will shape your life. People share opportunities now everywhere. People take time to curate and put this in lists and share. When you see them apply, where you cannot apply, reach out to someone who is maybe more experienced for assistance or support, coaching, mentorship. Samples also exist online. Use them, but don't use them wrongly, because one thing with people using wrongly nowadays is copy and paste. AI, using copy and paste. AI will help you give you ideas, but take it and put yourself in the ideas. Don't just use it like that, like you one mumu, one mugu. No, take the answers and put yourself in the answers, because the answers are generalized. They are generalized answers. Google will give you generalized answers, but put yourself in it. And to put yourself in it, you need experience. That's why I always say go and find an organization to volunteer with if you don't have one yourself. Be in activities, because when you're putting yourself inside, you're putting your practical experience. Oh, I was in this activity, I served as a project assistant. We worked with 100 women. That's you in that answer. But it's a general answer when it says, oh, women need training, but how many women did you as a team member do? Or in which community? So when you are in the community and doing activities, you can put yourself in those responses. So find activities that will help you and do them. Volunteer. Is it at the hospital? If you're a nurse and you're working in the hospital, find an organization and still work with them and do free services. That is different from the ones that you're paid for. It will help you even when you're responding for programs. There are programs for nurses, there are programs for farmers, there are programs for those doing agriculture, IT, tech. Find a program around your area and apply. Build your capacity so that you can be able to stand out when you're applying for this kind of programs.
Thank you so much. I totally agree with you when you say hype your mentors. Mentorship is not take, 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 take. It's not leeching. It is not, and then you're not even paying them. Sometimes people just feel like they were created to just serve
Just
them.
free service.
Anytime I call, anytime I send message, they should just be available. They also need some sort of help. Oh. It may not be the kind of
Hype
help you
them,
are
share their
asking for,
work.
but really,
Ah,
yes, you're looking for for a mentor to maybe review something for you. Do you know they also need somebody to help them draft something? They are very good reviewers. You can draft as many 50% excellent documents. Let them do half of the work for them, just without them asking. If they're going somewhere, ask them, can I tag along? You're benefiting from their program and also helping to support them if they need any help in that program. So just be there. If you need to just call them up and ask how they're doing, it goes a long way so that it doesn't seem like you're really, we're all humans, and the same way you want someone to always be present for you, they also need people to be present. They need to know that you're present for them. So please and please do not be a leech, be a very good mentee, and that way you learn to be a good mentor also for other people. Thank you for that reminder. Please take, there's nothing like I'm an introvert. You will not use that word and get opportunities. Even introverts, the world has made it very easy for us. Go out on the internet and find opportunities. You can be an introvert inside your house, but go to the streets of the internet and engage. And engage. And if you need to wear dark shades to and hoodies to go for an event in the community, do that. But please, by all means, you need to step out. That's the only way things can happen for you. As we wind down on our conversation for today, we have something that we do here, which is our rapid fire round, where we ask Emily to answer with the first thing that comes to her mind, one word, when we ask our 5 questions. But before we go to that, just so she prepares, if how can young people remain resilient despite many challenges that we have in our continent? We are talking about Africa, we're talking about Africans, we're talking about young Africans, and the reality is a lot is going on right now. A lot is going on. How have you stayed resilient? How can we stay resilient across sectors, across spaces, across countries?
it's simple. I think earlier I said that challenges will exist, hard times will exist, but don't give up. The fact that it doesn't kill you, there is hope. When you are in that waiting place where there's a challenge, find a way to find, like, build capacity. Because one thing is, challenges will always exist. It may be financial, it may be health, it may be even with just friends and families, emotional and all of that. Don't kill yourself. Just find solutions or talk to people that you trust. Sometimes even just sharing your challenge with one other person can help you with a solution. And resilience is you picking up when it is difficult, or when you have fallen, or when you feel like things didn't go the way you wanted it to. So, to be resilient as a young African, if you've applied for 10 programs and it did not take you, don't stop applying. Sometimes even in the application when you apply, can we tell you that this is my fifth time applying, I will not stop. I have done this, I have done that. Don't give up. Never give up. And don't think that because you're targeting, for instance, let me say, if you think you like Mandela Washington Fellowship, oh, I'm going to apply only for Mandela Washington Fellowship. No, there are so many programs now. If they're not taking for Mandela Washington Fellowship now, and you have gone, and you have not gone for any other program, maybe it's because they think that you're not a good leader yet. If you apply for other programs and you start for the small ones, the workshops in the neighborhood, in the community, in your city, and then before you know, you're going to African countries for programs, then you come back now for the Mandela after a year or two, they see that your capacity has changed, they'll take you at that time. So don't sit because it is difficult and just fold your arms. No, do something. If you don't have a job, don't sit in your house that I don't have a job. Go and volunteer somewhere, do internship somewhere. Because when you're doing it, they'll see that you're a good person. Before you know, they start giving you small, small promotions. You came in as a volunteer, now you're a small project assistant. Because of your service, you're now um, another level in the structure. So don't sit and wait for things to come to you. Find the things yourself. Hustle. My friend, one of my friend calls me La Diva because I put my head everywhere that other something can come out. If I know this thing give me money, crypto, I'm there. Crypto dance, that's my nickname now. I don't joke. If things paying off this way, wow, I know. Trump is there making billions on crypto business. Me, I'm there, I'm claiming that I don't want to do crypto. I'm doing crypto. Elon Musk is making millions from crypto and stocks. I'm not making money too. I beg. I want to be one day called 1 trillion. If they say that this one is doing money, build capacity, learn different skills. There's a lot of different things that you can make money from. It may be designing a flyer, they pay you. That's money. Find solutions to problems. Maybe in your neighborhood, people just need people that can fill up online forms for them to get ID cards. Like I see my younger brother doing with passport. They pay you for those services. There's one young girl I see on social media is to do people's CVs. They pay her to do CVs. Where is your strength? Do something and make money from it. Don't just sit and say, no, I don't have a job. The government has not employed me. Which government? We're the government, too. Ah. Don't wait and see that the government come and carry from your house that you go and do something. You see concourse you don't want to write. You see programs you don't want. You are just waiting. Try and then even go and meet somebody and said I applied or I wrote. If you know this person, can you help me follow up my name and blah blah blah. That's true. That's life. Life has its intricacies. Live with them. Learn to live with them, and keep pushing. That's it. Pushing.
Keep pushing, keep pushing. You see how very honest Emily is, eh? She's telling you anything that brings out the money rightly, she's jumping on it, learning the skill. You can't sit down and say, you're the government. Yes, thank you so much. And just to buttress something you said earlier, you mentioned that if you had applied for an opportunity and you don't get it, doesn't have to. You don't have to keep staying there. And I would say, practical example. I also tell people that because I noticed that a lot of young people we follow trends in applying for opportunities. There are a million opportunities online, but what we do is we hear the familiar names and everybody is going to apply for those familiar names. Whether it's your line of interest, whether it's what you can do, whether it's you don't even have a future plan for it, but because that's what everybody is jumping on, you are going for it. And you wonder why you're not getting it because really, even in your application, the heart is not showing in the application. Your heart shows in the things that matter to you when you write it. It's very easy for people to pick up on it. And honestly, if you try and try, do it again. Very I like the honesty in this because I am a practical example. I know the first time I applied for MWF, that's Mandela Washington Fellowship, I was straight out of NYC. In Nigeria, we have a program where once you get out of university, you go and serve. And immediately I did that. I think I applied because my cousin sent it to me. I had never done anything. I had never worked a day in my life. I was just the so even me, but you know that confidence of I know what I'm writing. And when I didn't get it, I was pissed. I was very pissed. I was like, my application was good. But years later, when I did the second one, even me, I knew that I wouldn't have given myself that that slot because what was I saying? And when I got it, I knew I had
Very
worked
true.
for it. Yes. When I was doing the application that I
True.
got, that led me to getting it, I could easily see why I got it. I have put in the work. I was not lying. It came easily
Yeah.
in even speaking to my work. And that's it for me. And I don't think
True.
there's any sector or any area that you work in that doesn't have opportunities. Stop going for generic scholarships, stop going for generic fellowships. What are you doing? Even if you don't know them, you can be let's say a cobbler. I haven't done a research, but I'm sure there is an opportunity for cobblers somewhere. But maybe because I haven't taken the time to actually do a research on it, but all you keep applying for maybe is a very random scholarship that everybody is. And that opportunity might even be getting slots that are less than what they are looking for. Means that if you apply for it, you can easily get it. So we need to do the extra, stop following trends, do the work, do the research. She's like she said, if you are very lazy, self, let ChatGPT do the work for you. Let it do all the research and just read through it and see what you can work on. Thank you so much, Emily, for this. This has been fun. It has been educative. It has been an amazing learning experience. And we will go to our
Yeah.
fire rounds now. One word
I hope it's not
for
questions I can answer.
one word, no sentence, no, just off the top of your off the top of your head. One word that defines great leadership. One word that defines great
Seventh.
leadership. Servant. Awesome.
Seventh.
Okay. I hope we can all hear. Servant. One habit that has helped you remain resilient.
Belief.
Believe. Awesome. One book, mentor, or life lesson that has shaped your journey. Either a book, a life lesson, or a mentor that has shaped your journey.
Ambassador Bankole, His Excellency Bankole of the African
Or
Union.
shout out, shout out, shout out to the mentors we have. The fourth one, one misconception people have about peace building.
That is money in it. That's more than one word.
So there's no money in peace building. Only work. Okay.
Sacrifice.
Okay. The final question. What gives you hope for Africa's future?
The youth, the young people.
Oh my God. That's so that's so touching. We give Emily hope. So please, young people,
Yeah.
we cannot disappoint. We cannot disappoint.
Yeah.
Um, we're pretty much the hope for Africa's future, and I'm hoping that we're able to
Yeah.
take that seriously. We're able to put in the work. We're able to see that every situation that you experience is a call and an opportunity for you to build better, to impact, and also discover purpose. Stay in that place and learn. She talked about learning, building capacity, reading, networking. It starts with you. You can't
Yeah.
impact if you've not built yourself. So thank you so much,
True.
Emily, for this. We really appreciate you for joining in as we come to a close. I just want to speak to our audience to say that Emily's story and her journey has reminded us again that impact isn't always about titles or recognition. We can see that beyond the bio that we read, she has touched lives, she has built bridges, she has shown courage, she has shown commitment and consistency. And irrespective of the profession you have chosen or the path you are in, we all have the opportunity to become builders of peace, trust, positive change. Thank you again, Emily, for reminding us that leadership begins with service, servanthood, and belief,
Yeah.
and that we as young Africans, we have the capacity to become agents of change. And for our audience, before you leave, please, you can just share a lesson from today's conversation that you intend to carry into your everyday life. This video, this recording, this conversation is going to be on YouTube forever. Even when we are not here, it is there. Share with as many people,
Yeah.
and on that day where it feels like everything is not making sense, come back 2 months later, 3 months
Yeah.
later, and just pick this up
I want.
and go through it again. That's the essence of why
Yeah.
we're doing this. It's not just for now. If you feel that somebody somewhere has missed out on this, please share the link. You can go to our pages. You can go to my page, my personal page, Sugwai or Zaza Development Initiative on LinkedIn, Facebook, TweetX, or our website, and you can always get these things. Just make sure that you're building capacity, you're learning. Thank you so much once again, Emily, and we appreciate you. We appreciate your time and your sacrifice, your servanthood, and your belief. Thank you for being very vulnerable with us. We do not take it for granted. I put this up, and I remember some friends reached out to me from Cameroon and said, "My goodness, she's such an amazing person doing great work." And I said, I know her. I may not be there, but I know her. And that's the kind of testimonials that we look forward to hearing. Again, there are young Africans doing amazing things. Mentorship doesn't have to be just looking up to old people. There are people that look like you, are in situations that you are in, and still excelling. Thank you, Emily. Any last words?
Thank you so much for having me. I really am appreciative to have been here. And thank you to all the young Africans doing amazing work. I believe that there are many like us, Zigwer, myself, and we should not relent. Even when it becomes difficult, when we lose hope, we should come back to this saying and tell ourselves we can live to see another day. And once there's life, there's hope. There are many opportunities. If they say no here, doesn't mean they will be saying no everywhere. Keep knocking, keep trying, keep pushing, keep seeking, and you will find opportunities that you never expected. Be good to people. People will always be who they are, but stay good and true to yourself, and you will get what is yours. What is yours will not miss you. It won't miss you. Thank you so much. It was really good to be
Thank
on this session.
you. Thank you so much. So we'll just allow Emily to return back to her training while we round up. Thank you so much, Emily, once again, and have an amazing rest of the weekend and experience. Please, our regards to your amazing daughter. Shout out to her. Okay, for those of us joining us, you can always if you like what you're listening to, you can like our sessions. You can also go to our previous sessions and you can leave a comment, your questions. Our mentors are available on social media. You can reach out to them. You can also follow the work that they are doing. Mentorship is not just about having one-on-one conversations or getting to meet people physically. You can follow their work and learn from the things that they do. You can also just give feedbacks or even attend events that they are organizing or be in spaces that they say they will be per time. Leave a comment in the chat box for us. Share, subscribe to our channel. And when you subscribe, you're able to be reminded of our upcoming events and you do not get to miss out on subsequent sessions. Once again, this is a monthly series, meaning that we will be back again in July. The last Saturday of every month, we come together and we just have a very good conversation with our mentors that come from across different African countries. You never know, next month we may just be bringing someone from your community. Thank you again for joining. We look forward to hosting you next month. Like, share, subscribe, comment, and we will see you next month. Bye.